You're watching the TC MMA podcast.
Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. Stephen Thompson had some things to say, talking about Joaquin Buckley's ego, telling MMA Junkie, but I don't know. He does have an ego. I feel like he's the type of guy that thinks he can beat you at your own game. So I kind of lure him down to the ground. If the KO happens, it happens. If a submission happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm ready for a 5-minute round war. So that's what Stephen Thompson is saying. He's ready. What he's saying is, he's ready for 3 rounds, 5 minutes. He's ready to go 15 minutes, right? But Stephen Thompson's getting up there. Joaquin Buckley, still a young buck, I believe, without even looking. I believe he's younger than Stephen Thompson. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's the next fight we definitely got to get into. This is the prelim main event. I know Stephen Thompson spoke on it. He's not happy about it. He wants to be in the main card, but the fact is he's not. And this is a prelim main event between two very skilled, high-level fighters. So let's get into it right now. In the welterweight division at UFC 307, you got your boy Stephen Thompson taking on Joaquin Buckley. And this is definitely a crossroads fight where Buckley seems to be getting better. Stephen Thompson's kind of got to defend his territory. Not even looking at the rankings, just saying, 4 or 5 years ago, you'd think Stephen Thompson would run through this fight, right? But Joaquin Buckley's a favorite in this fight. We'll get to it. 17-7 versus 19-6. Thompson 2 inches taller at 6 feet, but he's 41 years old. Doesn't seem like it. He's in great shape, but he's 41. Joaquin Buckley right in the prime at 30. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage. Buckley fights left-handed. Thompson, as you know, fights right-handed. Both guys just over 4 significant strikes per minute. But it's Buckley, actually, who can land takedowns and then utilize the ground and pound. He gets like 1 every other round. But do you want to go to the ground with Stephen Thompson? Maybe, maybe not. The Wonder Boy, Stephen Thompson, 65% takedown defense. Lost 3 to last 4. He's definitely slowing down, but he lost to big ones, right? Shavkat Rakhmonov, obviously coming up. Bilal Muhammad, current champion. Gilbert Burns as well. He did beat Kevin Holland. So that's interesting. Now Buckley, 69% takedown defense. Beat Ruzi Boeb by decision. That was a big one. Vicente Luque, KO, big one. Alex Morono, decision. And Andre Fialho, KO. He's won 4 in a row. Since losing to Mayvov and Chris Curtis, things look rough at that point. Now he's back. Oh my goodness, this is a tough one. But, I got guys like Kevin Holland on this card and Joaquin Buckley, guys that I like, that I believe in these type of fights. Although you can still make the case that Stephen Thompson's up there. He's not like top 4 or 5 like he once was, but he's still up there. But Joaquin Buckley, like I said, it's a crossroads fight because Buckley's going to come in and should get the victory here, right? It's going to be close early on because you're dealing with a veteran in Stephen Thompson, but Buckley will take over as he settles in. He'll get the win, move to 20-6. And we'll do it both on the feet and on the ground via significant strikes and the ground and pound, which will all rack up throughout the fight, including control time. So he'll get the win here, in my opinion. Move to 20-6, welterweight division, UFC 307. Yeah, so this is definitely one of those tough fights to predict. But Joaquin Buckley by a nose. I mean, it's going to be very close, very, very close. And if it does go to the ground, I am worried for Joaquin Buckley because Stephen Thompson can do some things on the ground, but Buckley can go anywhere in a fight. He's a dog. Not an underdog, but a dog. And when you got a dog in the fight, there's a good chance you're going to get a victory from him. So, look for Joaquin Buckley to pull this thing out. If Stephen Thompson wins, I would not be surprised. But I still like Joaquin Buckley to get the W here. Now, as we get into the main card, right, you got Roman Dolidze, or Dolidze, however you want to say it, taking on Kevin Holland, another guy I like, but I really respect, Roman. The guy's a winner. So this should be a very interesting fight, but Kevin Holland needs a victory. So let's get into it. We'll see. In the middleweight division at UFC 307, you got Roman Dolidze taking on your boy, Kevin Holland. And I'm a big fan of Kevin Holland's. He, struggled in the last 5 to 7 fights, but listen, guy is still really good. Roman 13-3. Kevin Holland 26 and 11. This is Georgia versus USA. Kevin Holland 1-inch reach or height advantage. He's 6'3" versus 6'2" Dolitze, and in terms of reach, 5-inch reach advantage. He's just 31 years old. Dolitze 36. So, but not looking like he's slowing down yet. Both guys stand right-handed. Kevin Holland is more active, 4.3 significant strikes per minute to 3.1. The ground game is something to keep an eye on. Kevin Holland is capable of being controlled if he doesn't, really solidify the striking to really defend the takedown defense. But Roman Dolitze lands like 1 every 3 rounds, and he's got to keep him right about there or less to win this fight. Dolitze, 33% takedown defense. Shouldn't matter too much in this fight. Coming off the win over Anthony Smith. Dominant fashion, 100-51 in significant strikes. Lost to Nazarethina Mavov by majority decision. Although it shouldn't have been majority, it should have been unanimous. I mean, it was 112-34 in significant strikes. Lost to Marvin Vettori by decision. Now, Kevin Holland's not as good as those other 2 fighters I just named, right? But he does have a 54% takedown defense. That's not very good. His opponent's going to, Roman's going to try to exploit that. Coming off the win over McCall Alexichuk, armbar submission, so he showed he's back in the game and can beat these fighters. But he did lose to MVP by decision, JDM, Jack Della Maddalena, by split decision, so he ran into 2 tough fights, but beat Michael Chiesa and Santiago Ponzinibbio, who I told you he would beat in that fight, I'm pretty sure. Despite Santiago, having like 20+ wins and like 4 losses, if I remember correct. But yeah, Kevin Holland is still right there. He just loses to some top names, and I don't think Roman is better than some of the guys that Kevin Holland has beat. Therefore, I got to go with Kevin Holland to get the dub here on the feet. Oh, maybe on the ground too, because these guys both got weak takedown defense, but Kevin Holland's going to be the better striker and keep him at bay with those jabs, leg kicks, and all the above in the strike game. Look for him to win this thing, even if it's by decision, to move to 27-11, middleweight division, UFC 307. Yeah, so once again, I go with the guy I like in Kevin Holland, and probably will be wrong on one of these 2. Hopefully they both win. I think they've been on the card together before, on the same card, and both have won. So you just never know, but I like both of these guys, want to see them win, and the fights are close enough to where I feel comfortable picking them in the victory. And luckily I picked them before the terrible week last week at UFC Paris. So there was no worry when making this pick at that time. So, that's the good thing.
He's gon' fight, wait, he's gon' fight, wait. Hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fighter call, UFC at its height. Yeah. Bringing that thunder with all his might. Saying, step up, wanna fight? Hold up, think twice. Gladiator, assassin, reckless, no abandon. Walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass stranded.